Hi everyone, meteorologist Ed Valley here taking a look in the Northeast. And what did we talk about yesterday that I thought would be pretty cool? A little bit of ocean effect snow. You can see even the fetch that we talked about. You get up, so the fetch is right now. You can see it, right? You see it coming in like this. So let's pause. The fetch is like this, right? Funny how the longest fetch gets the most dynamic band. But then you get up here, look at how much shorter the fetch is. That's why you're not seeing snow in Northeast Mass. It's all down in the South Shore. I think that's super cool. Anyway, it does not really affect the forecast for many of our clients, but I think it's just something incredibly interesting, and anybody who appreciates weather should appreciate that, I think. But as we get into tomorrow morning, it's interesting because you can almost see what the wind is doing based on the radar in Eastern Mass for the remainder of the weekend. So you see here, as we get into tonight, the flow is going to flip out of the east for a little while, and that's going to kill most of that snow risk. However, as this coastal storm, which once could have been a major storm for us, moves to the east, you're going to notice the wind flip out of the northeast again. And that's going to do exactly what's happening now again, late Friday night and early on Saturday morning. It's not a huge deal, but when you look at it, and you look at the amounts between the 2 days, there's going to be some spots near Plymouth, Mass that see 2 to 4 inches of snow, according to a couple inches for the rest of us. Even up on the North Shore could have a few flurries early on Saturday morning. Outside of that, you're going to notice once the wind shifts out of the west, everything stops. And the result on Saturday night into Sunday are a few flurries or snow showers to the north with a very weak system as a cold front moves in. But you look at the precip between now and Sunday evening, for the majority of us, there's nothing, okay? Our next system is going to arrive later Monday into Tuesday, and it's a quick mover, but there's still uncertainty exactly where it goes. So you got the European scooting along the international border. Most of that stays up there. However, Tuesday afternoon, as the front moves through, could have a period of light snow along the coast. Now, temperatures during this along the coast initially are not all that cold. So again, initially could be very similar to what happened yesterday morning. We'll keep our eyes on it. Not overly concerned at this time. But when you look at the amounts, you can see they range from, a coating to an inch or two across a majority of this entire region. Not a big deal, but something we may need to be actionable and available for if this were to occur. Still very low probability. Why do I say that? Well, the Canadian model on Tuesday is pretty active to the north, and then as the front moves through, kind of the same deal, but a little further north. So you look at the 2-day snowfall from this one, and it's further north. Our friends to the south don't see much, but inland, 3 to 4, 5, 6 inches of snow possible. So that's another possibility. And then lastly, our GFS model. Just to give you another solution, because why not, right? You notice that one stays way north, but then develops pretty similarly to the Canadian model, a period of steadier snow later in the day, Tuesday into Tuesday night. And you look at the 2-day snowfall for this, and again, it's inland, a couple inches possible, light to moderate snow, nothing really along the coast. So for now, along the coast, low probability of snow. Inland, though, Monday night through Tuesday night, pretty decent shot. We see some light accumulating snow. It's just those fine details we're still going to need to figure out. So we'll continue to monitor that as we get closer. Behind that system to end the week, it looks cold and it looks dry. Real quick, let's take a peek at those day-to-day temperatures just to give you an idea of what's on the horizon, if you will. And part of me, as our data takes a little bit longer to load today, it's Friday for the data too, I guess. There we go. Okay, so you see today is obviously very cold. Tomorrow and Sunday are a little bit warmer. Monday back in the cold. But Tuesday, ahead of that system, we do press into the 40s along the coast, 30s inland, the warmest day of the next 10. But then Wednesday, look at that, right back in it. Then Thursday, Friday, a little bit warmer perhaps by the end of the week into next weekend. But I'm telling you, this is a pretty cold pattern here through the end of January. Now, I did have a few requests to talk about the longer range, and we'll talk about the remainder of January and now the first half of February. And what I find here interesting is right around the turn of the month, you notice the first 5 days of the month, or the first 5 days of the forecast now through the 25th, pretty darn cold. But look at what happens as we head into early February. A ridge in the east is starting to really take hold, but notice it's variable. It might be strong for a couple days and then subside for a couple days. So our weather is likely going to feature ups and downs. So if anybody tells you it's an absolute torch, well, it could be for a couple days or a week, but there's probably going to be some storms in there that induce some colder air behind them. And those are things at this lead time it's hard to figure out. However, we can get an idea. And the idea here is that the start of February is going to be a couple degrees above normal. At least that's what it appears to be. Precip-wise, though, also very active. So our friends inland, that might be a snow risk. Along the coast, obviously, with the temperatures being a little bit warmer than normal, might be a little bit harder to get to that snowfall threshold, right? But when we look at what we call the MJO, it's heading into phase 6 and 7. What does that mean for February? Well, generally in phase 6, that is a warmer look. Phase 7, also warm in the east, but we at least have some cold in the central U.S. So when we look at our European weeklies that come out every couple days, you notice that idea. It's warm along the east coast. It's colder back in the plains. You look at the 14-day numbers here in the 16 to 30. So this is basically the first half of February, and it's warm. I think this is too warm. However, I think we're seeing the warmer potential here compared to especially January. So this is our 16 to 30 day forecast. So you notice in the east, we are above normal, not significantly above, but just barely above, but also wetter than normal, like we said. So I think it's going to be active, but we're probably going to be dealing with quite a few storms with a rain snow line. We'll keep kind of tweaking this as we get closer. If you have questions, let us know. Have a great weekend, and we will be back Sunday with another video.